And now back to Creekside Sports with Daniel Shirley and Steve Norris.
Welcome back. Daniel Shirley, Steve Norris alongside. Time to talk some Making Mayhem. To do that, we're bringing our buddy Graham Tuck. How are you, man?
Hey, good to see you guys.
Yeah,
welcome
good
in.
To see you too. Well, we appreciate you being here and big win last week, right?
Yeah, split the weekend series at Birmingham, first road trip of the year. So that was a big deal. To especially, you lose 4-1 on Friday night in a game that we were never really in, to be honest. Goalie kept us in the first. Boyko had a great start before he got hurt. So Bailey Birkin, his first appearance with the Mayhem, just kind of got thrown into the fire, and he did well. But Birmingham was just all over us on Friday night, and then Saturday to come back and do the exact same thing that they did to us on Friday,
right,
on the road in a hostile environment, beaten up. It was really impressive.
Yeah, that was cool to see that when I saw the score. And now this week you guys go on the road at Huntsville tomorrow night, and then on Saturday at Evansville. Both of those games are at 8 o'clock Eastern.
Yes.
And there'll be a watch party at Taco Mac. If you're a Mayhem fan and you want to be able to watch the team play on TV, you can go up to Taco Mac and watch the games. And it's really cool how they do that. I've been up there when they've been playing one on the screens, and it's a really good idea. Love how they do that.
Yeah,
inside or outside?
I think both.
Yeah,
inside for sure.
Yeah, I think you can see from both. I know I'm almost 100% positive that you can sit outside and watch.
Do they have screens outside?
Yeah.
You could probably request them. Say, hey, can you put Mayhem on this one? Or
oh yeah.
Now Saturday there'll be a lot of college
there.
football too, but
Yeah.
they'll, they would. I'm sure they would work
A screen
with
or
you on
two,
it. Yeah, for sure. And again, both those games are at 8 o'clock. You guys made some more roster moves, right? Tell us a little bit about the new guys.
So Dave was on a couple weeks ago, and I'm pretty sure he said it when he was here. Roster changes are going to happen until the coaching staff is satisfied with the way that the team's playing on the ice, and that's what's been happening so far. We haven't swept a weekend so far, and until you completely sweep a weekend series, I don't think you can look yourself in the mirror and say, okay, I'm completely happy with what's happening on the ice.
Right.
And even then, if you win both games or all 3 games in a weekend, even then you might still not be happy with how the team performed. So roster changes are a constant thing, and it's just going to happen, but it's for the betterment of the team. So there's so many players that fit in the talent pool of this league.
Right.
So you've always got moving pieces that you can, does this guy fit our scheme better here? How would this guy slot in between these two guys? It's that kind of thing. So honestly, it's cool to see, this is a team that in the past has not made a lot of roster changes, and so it's definitely a signal that things are different this time around.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, we're getting almost like a daily email from you. It's like, hey, we've signed this guy. We signed this guy. So
they're keeping me busy.
Yeah. So when they sign, do you think the guys that they've signed this week will play this weekend?
Yeah, probably.
That quick a turnaround?
So this week it was a different animal because we had 3 guys go on IR.
Okay.
So that obviously when you're banged up, you got to bring a couple new guys in. So one story that's actually really cool, the goalie that we brought in on a contract this week, he made his pro debut with the NHL's Washington Capitals, which is pretty sweet.
Wow.
So he was a college kid at Curry College, NCAA D3, and he got a call while he was sitting on his couch one day, and it was the Capitals saying that it was their last game of the regular season. Their starting goalie was hurt. They needed a backup. So he wasn't the emergency backup. He actually put on the jersey and went out for his rookie lap and everything. Got to sit on the bench for the game. He didn't get in, obviously, but honestly, if that is your first, taste of professional hockey, yeah, crazy story.
Man.
Right, in the NHL. That's crazy. So
that's one of those where you're sitting there going, I want to play. Please don't put me in. I really want to play.
Exactly.
Please don't put me in.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Graham Tuck's joining us here on the show. Now, Graham, season is obviously just getting started. It's a long season. You guys are 2-3 right now. You mentioned kind of finding their way and what they want to be. What have you seen from the team in the games you've gotten to watch of who are they, right? I mean, what kind of team are we looking for here?
So I think this team is one that likes to play super physical. I think that is one thing that Dave mentioned going into the season. That's the kind of brand of hockey that wins games down the road, and he knows that. He's had a very successful run in Quad City before he came here. So that track record proven success in the SPHL level. So it's just a matter of time before, obviously with a new coaching staff, you got to get the guys to buy in, because that's not the guys that have been here before. That's not the way that the Mayhem have played in the past. But the games that we've won, 4-1 against Birmingham, and then 4-2 against Fayetteville at home a couple weeks back. Those games are the games where we played the most physical hockey, and it's directly resulted in our 2 wins. So I think that Huntsville tomorrow is going to be a really big test. They are always at the top of the league standings. They've got a very good roster. They've had a good start to this season. And then going to a different city, 2 cities in 2 nights, is never easy. So
have y'all done that this year
yet?
This
is the first time.
Right?
So,
okay.
So it will be a test in Evansville on Saturday as well. But I definitely think, Dave mentioned, I know for a fact he said when he was here, going into each weekend, you've got a number in your mind. Like, okay, we want to get this many points out of this weekend. I don't know what that number is for him this weekend, but you never want to get swept. So you got to find a way to get guys to buy in and put their work in to play that physical brand of hockey night in and night out. And when you're on the road, it's never easy.
Yeah, and if you play that way, at least you give yourself a chance, right, to win games. Again, the team plays at Huntsville tomorrow, at Evansville on Saturday. They are on the road until November 22nd. The 23rd.
Yes. When
they play Fayetteville here, and then November 24th at home as well, and then the 29th, the day after Thanksgiving, they will play Pensacola. So a lot of more road games.
Yeah,
are you going on the road
trip of the season?
Are you going out with them at all?
So next weekend at Fayetteville, that 2-game set is our season ticket holder road trip.
Sure.
So all of our staff, including me, will be going on the road to Fayetteville that weekend. So I'll be going to those 2 games, and then there are a couple more games down the line. We haven't gotten the dates hammered out yet, but I'll be going on a couple more road trips. But do know for a fact that those 2 games are ones that I'll be going to, and honestly, it's kind of a cool homecoming for me, being from North Carolina.
Right.
So
right.
I've got some family that's probably going to come out, and it'll be a fun weekend. It's always going to be fun this season when Fayetteville and Macon play each other.
Yeah, that's a weird setup, but I like it. I like it.
So forgive me, I'm not familiar with the website or anything, but is it possible people get like team posters or something like that?
Yeah, so
gear and stuff like that.
So we don't have anything. We don't have anything poster wise yet, but we did just come out with our jersey customization process. So we obviously announced our new jerseys this season with the new color scheme and logo and everything. So that process is brand new as of this week. So if you've bought a jersey so far, or if you want to buy a jersey now, you can add the customization with name and number process to that whenever you would like. And also,
I'm looking at the shop right now. These jerseys, I'm sorry, these are some of the sweetest jerseys.
Oh yeah,
ever
they're
gonna
fire.
see.
They're so sweet.
The black with the light blue and the red just jumps off the screen.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And then we've got the blue alternates that we're gonna start wearing coming up here soon, and I cannot wait for those. The Thrashers inspired ones. They're gonna be so.
We need a jersey for the studio.
Oh yeah,
How about that, man? That's cool.
Yeah, it's gonna be sweet. So you can now get your name and number, or your favorite player's name and number on those. Before we were just selling blanks, but now you can get them customized. And also, whenever we do specialty jerseys, those will be auctioned off, so you'll be able to bid on game-worn jerseys as well for all of our specialty uniform nights, which we've already had. Our UGA weekend, that was those uniforms were a big hit, and we've got 11 more specialty jerseys coming out over the course of the season.
I'm sorry, I know this is radio, so this is not good radio for me to say. I love that shirt. That T-shirt is nice.
That is a cool looking shirt.
So just go to the Macon Mayhem website and just go to their shop. They've got some really cool T-shirts, and I'm a big T-shirt guy. I wear a lot of T-shirts, so I'm gonna have to get me one of those.
By the way, on the poster thing, as liquid as the roster is, I guess you could take one every week.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of the thought process behind that. I mean, we've already had almost half the roster from opening night is not here anymore. That's just how the game plays out.
Yeah.
When do you think that settles in? I mean, is it into the month where we go, okay, this is probably who we're going to be?
Honestly, you have your set of guys. I mean, we have our leadership group. Jarrett Cupp is our captain. He's closing in on 250 career games in the SPHL, so he's an established
guy. And he's been here for a while.
Yes, right. He has, since the 17-18 season. He had a small stint with Fayetteville, but and he went overseas for the COVID year, but more or less he's been in Macon for a long time. Jake Goldowski, Dan Winslow, those guys are alternate captains. They're going to be around for a while. well. You've got a couple other guys that you get the feeling like, okay, this guy's going to be a lineup staple. But at the same time, you never really know because they could get a call from the ECHL at any given moment. So it really, you can say it settles down a little bit into the season, but there's no way to ever really know for sure.
Do you guys get a heads up of one of the EPHL teams wants one of your guys? Do they call and say, hey, look, we like this guy, we want to call him up next Tuesday? Or do you just find out the day that it's going to happen?
So we don't get those calls. Those go directly to the coaching staff.
Oh, to the coaching staff.
Yeah,
okay.
so like if an ECHL team, like Atlanta calls a lot historically because they're so close. Savannah the same way. So they'll call Dave and be like, maybe midway through the week and say, hey, we want to give this guy a call up, let him know, and he can make the decision on if he wants to go or not. And obviously it doesn't always go down exactly like that,
right.
But that's kind of the process. Normally it's the week of the game that they want to bring him up for.
So they'll bring him up for a game and then have
sometimes,
him come back.
Or if they play really well, they might stick. But a lot of times it's like the most common one that you see is the trickle-down effect comes all the way from the NHL. Say an NHL goalie gets hurt. Well, then they've got to call up a guy. They've got to recall a guy from their American League affiliate. Then there's an opening in the AHL for an ECHL guy who gets called up. Now there's an ECHL team that needs a goalie. So they're probably taken from the SPHL.
Yeah, it's crazy how that works and just all that constant movement. But it's a lot of fun, and we're glad we have you guys here, and glad you're part of the Creek family with your Creek shirt on.
Oh yeah,
man.
I'm excited.
Looks
for
good.
this.
Absolutely. Well, let's take a break, Graham. We really appreciate you being here, and we'll talk to you next week, and looking forward to it.
Yeah, man. Thanks for joining
Good luck
us.
to good luck to the Mayhem tomorrow. And again, if you want to go watch the games this weekend, go out to Taco Mac. 8 o'clock tomorrow, 8 o'clock Saturday. They'll have both of the games.
What time at Taco Mac?
8 o'clock.
Okay, what I mean,
I just said
that's game time.
That's
right?
the time the games start. Yeah.
Okay. Well, get there at 7:30 to
get there 7:30, get some food, and get it.
That's my point.
Okay.
Don't walk in at 8:01.
No, don't walk in at 8:01 because Taco Mac's usually packed.
I was gonna say
on a Saturday night too.
Yeah. Get there a little early. Get you something to eat. Get some wings, and then watch the Mayhem. That sounds like a fun weekend to me.